Hey guys, back on it today. I am finally going to finish my fuel system today. I left off without bending the lines for my fuel lines yet. So I'm going to knock those out real quick. Then I got a lot of little projects to do and not a lot of time to get them done if I want to get this car on the road. So follow along today as I show you how I built my fuel lines and then knock out some other projects. Let's see how much we can get done. Alright, here's what I'm working with. I basically have to connect from here all the way back to my gas tank. I don't like the way I have this double fitting here. That's kind of all I had on hand, but I ordered a new piece that should be 3/8 pipe to this being 3/8 inverted flare, and I have one of these fancy lines right here that I can use for my fuel line. And how I'm going to do that is I'll screw it in here, bend it, and work its way back. When I get to the end, I'll just cut it, connect it with a hose onto the rest of my line that I have, and connect it back. I ordered this fitting, should be here today. If it gets here and it's the wrong one, I'm just going to cut that line, put a piece of hose and connect them, because I need to get this thing done. And then if you guys remember, it comes all the way back here to the back. It'll connect on the underneath of my gas tank. And let's see if we can crawl into here. Oh, there's my fuel pump, and I'll get a light when we get to this point, and I'll show you guys how I have it all tied up. My technique for building lines like this is to build a pattern, and I'm going to do that by using this. I went and raided all the closets in the house. I got myself some hangers, so I'm going to clip them, straighten them, use those, and build my pattern for these bends. They're not too difficult, but everybody can see it, and I just want them to look like halfway decent. So I'll use that, my tubing bender, start by building my pattern, and then I'll transfer it over, make my line that shape, and see if I can get some lines bent. Once I get these all in and installed, I'll bring it back, show you how we did. Alright guys, so we're laying into the car because I finally connected my fuel line from the tank all the way up to the engine. It's not pretty, but it'll be functional and easy to do repairs on and change components on the road should I have to do that, because this car is going to get driven. But here it is, let's check it out. I'll try to get my light situated. Okay, there's the outlet to the fuel tank that we put in the other day, through some fittings, through my filter, fuel pump, and then one continuous line runs from there all the way up to the front of the car. Kind of a pain running one line. It's that aluminum fuel line. I could have kept it real straight had I done a bunch of unions, you know, because I had cross members and things to get around. But I didn't want a bunch of unions, so it's just one line running the whole chute down there, which meant I kind of had to mangle a little bit to get it in there. But I'll show you how we did on the front of the engine here. It looks pretty good, I think. Whatever. It looks okay. The way it ties in here to this fitting and then swings under the frame. And there is one union right down about there where this line ties into that aluminum line. I got to clamp it up now, so here's what I'm going to do. I've got a bunch of these little guys here, these doublers. And I'm going to get it set up, but while I'm running clamps, that same pathway that fuel line takes, I got to run this, my battery cable. This just came in the mail today. I got it off Amazon. Man, I've been spending money lately. Well, it's all this little junk that the guys got to spend money on. And there aren't a lot of swap meets going on right now, so I've been missing out. Anyway, I got it and I got to run it. I might as well do this, run it at the same time while I'm laying under the car. While I'm punching holes and putting these little clamps down, I'll just run it, tie it up to the car. So I'm going to go back down, do the boring work, lay underneath the car, and when I come back, I should have a battery cable run as well. Alright, does it look like I'm tired of laying under my car? I got it done. Finally. Fuel system and my battery cable. Got my lights set up underneath there. Let's check it out. Oh, here they are. Routed underneath the car. I put a piece of hose over the aluminum line so that it didn't get smashed or jacked up or marred or anything. It's not touching anything. And it goes all the way back. Obviously my battery lead. I'm going to trim that, tie it into a switch there, and then have another lead to go up to my battery. So I'll show you that real quick like. Let's see. Here we are. Here's my battery switch, master switch. This will mount underneath the back of the car somewhere. Kind of like this. And then, so I just got to tie it into there. And then I'll have one lead go from my master switch up here to my positive post on the battery. Whew. Okay. All right, that's a quick one. Pretty short, kind of screwy, but I finished my fuel system and I got my battery run. Oh, one other thing I finished up the other day. Radiator hoses. I did some measuring because that's a really tight turn and got the shortest one I could find. And it worked. It worked. Actually, I had to cut about a little bit off each end, but I was able to manage to get it in there. I did have to take my cutting wheel and trim my motor mount. But I did that, stuck it in there, and you can see just, you can probably slide a piece of paper between the two. It's not rubbing. And then another thing, I had to get real careful on my ordering because this is a weird hose. These are right around 1.5 inches diameter, both my filler neck and my radiator, so it was kind of weird, but I got lucky. Got a hose that fit, so that's on. Okay. Electrical systems next. Almost. Before I get my electrical system in, I've got to put my dashboard in and drill holes for my gauges in the dash. Mount my steering column. That's a pretty quick one, but I'll throw that in there. And then, man, I can start wiring. We're almost getting there. Almost. Getting close. So somebody was asking me about this poster I got hanging up in my garage here. I'll show it to you. Hopefully you can see it without any glare on it. But it says up at the top, drag racing at South Eubank Drag Strip, 1957, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And here we've got a coupe, Model A coupe, a 30 Ford, and then on the other side a 24 Dodge Roadster with the names. So somebody was asking me the story on this picture, and so I figure I'll take a minute and tell you about it. I found this in a machine shop in Albuquerque when I lived there, and a guy was selling a couple of the prints. I have no idea where he got the print, but I thought, man, that's just cool. It's old, you know what, 1957. It's some old, cool vintage racing. I love that coupe and the old Roadster that the guys are racing there. I don't have any relation to either one of these guys. Don't know anything about them, their families or anything. But the reason that this appealed to me so much is because of this right here in the background. I don't know if you can see this building here. If anybody's ever been to Albuquerque and you go down South Eubank, you can take the road and it goes right into the Air Force Base. And that's what that gate is right there. In fact, that's the gate into Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And where I was stationed for about 4 years, lived there and flew actually that airplane, the MC-130H, where I was an instructor for 4 years, like I said. So the cool thing about this picture is when I lived there, I lived on base, which, oh, if you panned around about here, would be base housing. So I don't know, you know, half a mile from this spot's where our house was. And to this day, or at least a few years ago when I lived there, there's no drag strip there anymore, but any Saturday, Sunday night, middle of the night, you can hear these guys winding them up and launching them. And we'd go out for church Sunday morning, drive out the Eubank gate, and there's just fresh black marks where they've been drag racing out there doing some street racing. So pretty cool. A lot of history still going to this day. There you go. A little bit about me, a little bit about Albuquerque, some old school drag racing. There you go. That's the story on it. Well, before I call it a day, I realize as I'm looking at the car, before I can start wiring it, I don't have any I don't have headlight brackets or taillight brackets. So I'm gonna build those next. Yeah. But that's it for today. Pretty big win getting my fuel system set up, battery cable run. It was actually easy just to run them together since they basically have the same routing in the car. So yeah, I'm gonna hang it up. Appreciate your guys' support. Thanks for watching. Love it when you guys leave me some comments. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. If you think it sucks, that's up to you. But I'd love to get you guys' comments. And hey, if you haven't considered subscribing, just click the little subscribe button down there. I'd appreciate it. So, all right. Catch you guys next time.